Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming along. My day job is public policy editor of The Economist, but like you tonight, I'm here to listen and learn from a very fascinating debate, which I'm sure you'll agree. A natural gas revolution, hot air, or a dose of sanity, or possibly a bit of both. But first of all, I would like to introduce our first speaker tonight. That's Wim Thomas, who's Chief Energy Advisor at Shell.
Gas will be a backbone of sustainable energy systems of the future. Why do I say that? Well, gas is abundant and affordable, etc. But if you want to have more and more renewables, intermittent renewables in your system, you need a kind of backbone, a flexible backup source which can actually take up that flexibility very cost efficiently. Now, we have done a lot of scenario exercises, and every time, right, you see that actually gas is a very good, cost-effective way to actually deal with the intermittency. But also we see some kind of natural saturation points in certain sectors of renewables. So when people say 100% renewables for everything is possible, I doubt it, and certainly not in the next 20 years.
Joining us now, Professor Mike Stevenson, who is Head of Science and Energy at the British Geological Survey.
Look at this. A Somerset expert reckons that if you do shale gas in the Mendips, it'll turn into a volcano. And people believe it. You know, people believe it. And this is the quality of the debate that's out there. You know, I'm not saying that shale gas is the answer. I'm not saying that CCS is. I'm not saying that double global nuclear power either is. But it's a problem because if you want to do these things, they're all geological. And the public, you know, have many, many questions about the feasibility and the safety of it. Science needs to take a stronger role in this, particularly independent science, to assess the risk and to do it publicly and transparently and openly.
A very good time to hear from our next speaker, which is Dr. Shamil Yenikeyev, who is Research Fellow at the Oxford Institute of Energy Studies.
Does gas help or hinder making the world a safer place? Obviously, the increased availability of supplies and the increased diversity of sources is a very important factor. And because gas producers are becoming more responsible, being more responsible by this new competition. And producer-consumer relations as a result and mutual dependence will create greater stability. At the same time, some transnational pipelines, such as Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India pipeline, could promote as well integration and stability in those regions. But one final point is that the battles will continue, but there will be battles based around markets, routes, regulation, technology, competitive advantage and prices, and environment. And domestic politics will play the key role in that, particularly in the United States and Russia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to welcome to the stage with me Dr. Pierre Noël, who is Senior Research Associate and Director of Energy Policy Forum at the University of Cambridge, specialising in oil and gas markets and industry, and David Howell, Lord Howell, who's an advisor to the Foreign Secretary on energy security and a former Minister of State at the Foreign Office with responsibility for international energy issues.
The green agenda, if pressed incompetently in political terms with the wrong compelling messages imposed on people in the wrong ways, will actually delay the green revolution. And we've just had a perfect example here that people are saying, oh, we must be very careful about gas expansion, and we don't, shale gas in America is fine, but we don't want to see too much encouragement here. What is the net effect of that? The net effect is that American coal is pouring into Europe. We're burning more coal here in this country. Europe's coal as a whole is increasing. And Germans are planning new coal-fired stations. And CO2, while falling to America to the 20-year lowest level, and has fallen 14% in the last 2 years, and the per capita emissions has fallen dramatically.
Whatever we do on climate change, we have to do it cost effectively. We have to start with the cheapest carbon emission reductions that we can get. Currently, we're starting with the most expensive ones. Offshore winds is a typical example. Solar panels is another typical. I mean, the cost of them is falling quite quickly, we have to be honest, but still very, very high. That's the first message. Do it cost effectively. The the only way that I know about to do that is simply to tax carbon, right? At the highest level that the political process will allow, which may not be very, very high, but hopefully will be higher than what we currently have.
Thanks to all our speakers, and of course to Intelligence Squared and Shell for hosting this event, which I've certainly enjoyed very much and hope you have.